Hi everybody, my name is Ian, I'm from the Jessops Academy.
And I'm Vicki from the Jessops Academy too.
And today's video is all about getting started in digital photography. It's the sort of things that you would like to ask but probably have never done so.
Potentially because you've been too afraid to ask, but all those little things that will just make you a better photographer. Now, holding your camera correctly is really important, because if you don't, it can turn into a bad habit that can ruin photographs later down the line. So the idea is that your right hand will sit on the grip on the right hand side of the camera, but the left hand needs to be the one that actually supports the weight of the camera. So if you make a little V shape between your thumb and your four fingers, if you've got a larger lens, feel free to outstretch the four fingers. And you want the main weight of the camera in that little nook. That then allows your elbows to be dug in and create a nice stability out of yourself. You can then use your right hand to dance around those buttons and dials to get the settings exactly as you want them. So you'll see, it's not just about how I'm holding the camera, but it's also my stance as well, creating that stability and that somewhat tripod out of yourself.
It's not just larger cameras that you need to consider how you hold. Compact cameras can actually be really benefited by a real good stable posture and how you position your hands on the camera. That will ultimately get you a sharper picture. So try to avoid falling into the trap of taking pictures like this. Look how both of my arms are up in the air, and actually that can cause a lot of strain on the arms and the elbows and actually cause you to move the camera and keep it wobbling. Try to actually support the camera with your left hand underneath the edge of the compact camera and use your forefinger to actually press the shutter. Normally you'll find that there's a grip where your thumbs would fit on the back, and also your middle finger are on the front of the camera. So by using that posture, you'll find you'll get yourself a much sharper and more stable result. And of course, don't forget your smartphone. Again, there's a temptation to hold these completely wrong, which will impact your overall result in photography. So when actually taking a picture with a smartphone, try to keep it really stable by supporting the phone with both hands. And don't forget, you can actually fire most camera shutters on mobile phones with the volume key. That's an absolute top tip and really useful. So if your camera has a viewfinder, you will more than likely have something called an eye diopter. And this means you can adjust the viewfinder for your own eyesight. So if you wear glasses, you will know that you have a certain prescription. And that means that you can dial up a certain prescription into the viewfinder to ensure it's really nice and sharp. This is really important, of course, if you're using manual focus, so you can judge whether something is really accurately in focus. So the question is, how do you do it? Well, around the viewfinder you will find either a wheel, or sometimes it's a little slide, and then you would just adjust that. Obviously you need to do it whilst looking through the viewfinder. Now you could judge the focusing by looking at the picture that's in the viewfinder. I always find it best to look at some of the data, some of the numbers that are in the viewfinder, because if you get that right and those numbers come nice and sharp, it means all the viewfinder from edge to edge is good and properly focused for your own eye. As a photographer, it's really important to understand the very basics of a memory card. Now, we're all probably aware that the bigger the number, the more pictures you can hold on a card. But actually, what a lot of people fail to recognise is the speed. The speed of a memory card is hugely important. On a modern and advanced digital camera like this one, this 4GB card, which is quite slow, will unfortunately not perform very well, especially if we're taking lots of pictures in quick succession. Right, that's that done. It's now right into the memory card, Vix. Bear with. There's lots of numbers on a memory card. If you're interested in speed specifically, you need to look out for the megabits per second. On this card, for example, it says 30 megabytes per second, or MB/S. The higher the number, the faster the memory card, and the better performance you'll get when you're taking pictures in fast succession. Yep, no. Oh, there we are.
Oh, okay.
How long was that? That was probably about 30 seconds, wasn't it? So we've got some shots. Yeah.
Using a zoom lens is great when you want to zoom in on stuff that's really far away, but it can make you a lazy photographer that's a bit static with your shots. So when you pop a prime lens on, it'll make you explore your surroundings that little bit more, and you'll get different angles that can make a shot so much better just by moving with your feet that little bit closer. Okay, it doesn't look quite right here, so I'm going to head over there to where there's a bit less stuff in the foreground and try again. much better. Composition should be the first thing that you think about. And one of the easiest ways to get better composition is to avoid the idea of putting things in the middle of your shot. I'm going to take a picture of Ian now, with one photograph with him in the middle and another with him off centre to show you the difference. Another tip, if you're taking landscape photographs, is to avoid putting the horizon line in the middle of your shot. It's better to move it up if you've got more interesting stuff in your foreground, or move it down if you've got a dramatic sunset or sunrise.
It's always a good idea to clean the front of your lens. Whether it's a mobile phone or a full-size camera, if you've taken an amazing picture and you've got a greasy thumbprint on your lens, it can seriously impact the quality. Now, if you're anything like me, you've probably used all manner of different objects to clean your lens, whether it's a jacket, the back of a t-shirt. Obviously, some of those materials can be abrasive and actually can damage the lens, so it's always good to use the right thing like a lens cloth. Now, I'm rather lucky. I've got a coupe hoodie on at the moment. It's actually got a lens cloth built in. Even better, it's got a string attached so I don't lose it, which I'm very guilty of doing. And simply pull it out of the pocket and give the lens a wipe.
If you've got a tilt screen, you should use it. It can be really difficult to get shots low down when you're trying to crawl around in the mud and the wet. So use your tilt screen to bring your camera lower down to get those creative shots. Here I'm doing a reflection of Ian in a rock pool, and it will just enable you to get much better pictures, but without the need to get wet and muddy. There are multiple reasons why your camera might not have found focus first time, so don't rush it. Make sure you are getting the shot that's in focus by gently pressing on the shutter button and look for the cues. The little green box might pop up, and you might also hear a little beep beep just to let you know that your camera has indeed found focus before you take your shot.
We hope you found those tips useful.
If you've got any questions or top tips of your own, then please feel free to pop them in the comments below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And hit the little bell button at the top.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you again soon.